It's going nuts out there.
Nothing's working, not even cell phones.
It's happening, isn't it? Gotta be another way.
Get my consciousness inside the boat.
Barry? What do you see? What's around you?
You're in my mind now. And there's no escape.
Barry! He's coming for us.
Run, Mr. Allen. Run.
Special delivery. Oh. Wow, super pregnant. Looks like you're due about 21 days from tonight, I'd say. Someone who understands that time is precious and right now is all we've got. Relatively speaking.
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We gotta break down this Flash finale footage. There's a new round of that Flash ring giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So let's just go through the footage as we see this. Now she's not anywhere in the trailer here. Obviously she has something to do with Barry defeating the Thinker because the Speed Force symbols that he was writing when he came out of the Speed Force are the same symbols that she was writing in that little book. The little book belongs to DeVoe. He was writing the symbols on his blackboard right after he became the Thinker. So all three of these characters are connected through the Speed Force symbols. Coffee Girl is connected now, in addition, two ways, because the same symbols that Barry was writing, but also she possesses the physical journal that belonged to DeVoe that Marlize was thumbing through a couple episodes ago. So that will be key to whatever Barry does inside this mind space in rescuing everyone and saving the world. There's not a whole lot of Season 5 teaser stuff in this trailer, but they always tease what's happening at the beginning of Season 5 in the finale, so just be aware of that. We've talked about who the villain might be. I've seen a lot of new theories too, so I'll address that when I post my finale video, but there'll be some more DC posting later this week, so maybe I'll do another video for that. But obviously we get that very comic booky moment that we've been waiting for since they announced that the Thinker was going to be a comic book villain on the Flash TV show. So if you're not a big comic book reader, in the comics when the Flash, the Wally West Flash, fought Jeff Johns' version of the Thinker, there was this famous panel with all these wires sticking in his head. So within the issue, which is actually titled Crossfire Part 3, The Thinking Man, so it's part of this larger Thinker arc, Wally West learns that the only way that he can beat the Thinker is by giving himself over to him. So he's kind of more of a tech-based villain and he's looking for more processing power, so he's sort of absorbing the city. He's making it part of himself. So the Flash literally has the fastest mind alive, which makes it the fastest computer alive on the planet. That's why the Thinker wanted him. So Wally West gives himself over, so the Thinker sticks all of his tendrils in his head and briefly, until the Flash can fight him within his mind space, like something out of Inception or going back even further, The Matrix. I've been using The Matrix as a more apt description. If you want to read that volume, it's Flash Volume 2, number 186, but it's part of the larger Crossfire arc, so I would recommend you read that. It has Amunet Black, a lot of the stuff that they adapted for this season, but obviously they changed a lot of it for the TV show. So you can see why they probably did things this way instead of having the Thinker just like put his hand with the tendril in it on top of Barry's head and take him into his mind that way. They want the Flash's personality within DeVoe's mind to be free of DeVoe, and when he takes somebody, like when he took Ralph, they become part of him, so it's a little bit different. It's not like somebody running around inside your mind. But when they were filming this episode a couple weeks ago, people were like, how come we're seeing the pudgy version of Ralph on the set, the one from before he became a hero and got his powers near the bus? So the whole idea is that Barry probably encounters some of the bus metas as he runs through DeVoe's mind, Ralph being one of them. I don't know if he's going to rescue all the bus metas while he's inside his mind here, but the producers teased a very Inception-y finale. This is where they get to Inception, him actually going inside his mind. Now, I figured that they would do this when they announced the Thinker as a villain because it's one of the most iconic Jeff Johns, Wally West comic book panels. The Flash doing the thinking man with all those wires sticking out of his head, but they've changed so much about the comic book storyline that you just don't know until you actually see it. So when Wally West Flash fought the Thinker inside his mind space, it was a very similar situation where Wally went full Matrix and realized that there were no limitations. He could manifest anything that he wanted to. So because it was the Wally West version of the Flash, he cloned a bunch of different versions of him from different eras in the comics. So all these different versions of the Flash you see fighting the Thinker here, these are just different versions of Wally West from different eras. So you have the really young Kid Flash Wally West in the yellow costume. You have him in the even earlier red costume before he got the yellow costume. So you just get the idea. They're inside a Matrix-like mind space. There are no limitations. You can manifest anything that your mind can come come up with. So I'll be interested to see what he manifests to try and help him fight DeVoe inside the mind space. Obviously, the other big storyline while Barry's inside the Thinker's mind space is all this chaos with the Enlightenment happening in the real world. You see the skies are completely purple with like this really twisted aurora borealis, like it's going to be raining down dark matter on everyone really soon. Joe makes a brief reference to just everything going crazy. You see Cisco outside, there are fires being lit, people just going completely nuts. I love the fact that they're in jitters at the beginning of this trailer because we've all been talking about Coffee Girl. And then, as Cecile is getting ready to give birth, she has that little device on her forehead to prevent her from entering other people's minds. That was the old school inhibitor. You see the real life version of DeVoe walk past her, looking at her as she's getting ready to give birth. So it's like, what does he want with Cecile, or is he just coming for everyone? Because it sounds like this is all happening at Star Labs, like they brought Cecile there instead of taking her to a traditional hospital. But they don't really give a whole lot else away besides Barry just trying to get used to what the mind space is like. Like, it looks like he's getting his ass kicked, but this is probably right after he enters and he's not sure what's going on. I really love the way that he wakes up inside DeVoe's mind space at the scene of the crime, so to speak, the scene where he exited the Speed Force and created all the bus metas. And the way he sits up in frame is like the way he sat up at the beginning of this season, in the beginning of the pilot, when he had been in a coma for a couple months.
Oh my God. Where am I?
Hey, Barry. Hey. It's me.
So obviously we have to talk about the idea that the title is We Are the Flash, and that's been a bit of a meme across the season. It started way back, I think in like the second episode or something like that, when Iris said it the first time. They brought it back around a couple more times. Barry said it once when they were just working on a normal problem. Then now it sounds like they'll finally pay it off with Barry becoming part of the Thinker. We are the Flash. So briefly, I think what will happen is that the Thinker will take over Barry while he's inside the mind space before Barry takes back over him. Remember the end of the Matrix Revolutions where he enters or allows Smith to absorb him, then destroys Smith from the inside out.
No, it's not fair.
But it'll be really interesting to see how he tries to save the other bus metas. That's like the other little hanging plot thread. Does everybody die? Because I think the idea is that they bring Ralph back at least. So I don't know if that means that they could also bring the other ones back too. We can talk about that when the episode actually happens, because when he jumps into a new body, he effectively takes everything with him, so the old body is just a husk. And what have they been doing with the old bodies? Did they put them on ice? Did they bury them? Because it's been a couple months since he started jumping into other people's bodies, going all the way back to the mid-season finale. So they either got a whole bunch of popsicles in the fridge, or it's going to be some other really twisty explanation for how Ralph can come back out of DeVoe and still have a body. Leave all your bonus video requests in the comments below, and what'll happen later today is Marvel just confirmed that they were going to be doing an Eternals franchise during Phase 4. Now they said franchise, which means like a new trilogy, so it sounds like a pretty big thing. I'll do a video for that. There'll be more Deadpool 2 posting really soon, so be sure to go see the movie too. Congratulations to the giveaway winner from my last big video, Elliot Guadarrama. Please private message me so I can get your contact details. I'll name a new winner when I post new DC. Click here for my Flash video from last night, and click here for my non-spoilery Deadpool 2 review. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.